We are now going to look how to design the GUI in NetBeans. We have looked at the basic ways on creating the GUI. In NetBeans, there is a shortcut and easier way to do it. So far, we have learned how to create the JFrame, and we have looked into some of the GUI component objects such as the JButton, JLabel, JTextFill, and also the JText area. We have also looked into different types of layout manager available. So now we are going to look into how to design a swing GUI in NetBeans IDE. In real world, you will create your GUI using tools such as the NetBeans IDE GUI Builder. Here we will design the GUI for an application that can calculate the area and parameter of a rectangle given its length and width as the input. The GUI is shown below. We will have a frame, we will have JLabels and JTextFill, and also buttons. In the IDE's GUI Builder, you can build your forms by simply putting components where you want them as if you were using absolute positioning. The GUI Builder figures out which layout attributes are required and then generates the code for you automatically. You need not to concern yourself with the layout managers. Steps for designing the GUI. So firstly, you would create a NetBeans project. In NetBeans, choose File, New Project. In the Categories pane, select the Java node, and in the Project pane, choose Java Application. Click Next. Enter Rectangle App in the project name field and specify the project location. Leave the Use Dedicated folder for storing libraries checkbox unselected. Ensure that the Create Main Class checkbox is selected and clear the Create Main Class field. Click Finish. Creating a JFrame Container. To add a JFrame container, in the Projects window, right-click the Rectangle App node and choose New JFrame Form. Enter Rectangle App GUI as the class name. Enter my.rectangleapp as the package. Click Finish. This screenshot shows you where to get the JFrame form. So you right-click on it, New, and then select JFrame Form. Getting familiar with the GUI Builder. When we added the JFrame container, the newly created Rectangle App GUI form is opened in the GUI Builder's design area, and 3 additional windows appeared automatically, enabling you to navigate, organize, and edit GUI forms. The windows are as follows. So we have the design area, which is the GUI Builder's primary window for creating and editing Java GUI forms. We have Navigator. It provides a representation of all the components, both visual and non-visual, in your application as a tree hierarchy. Palette, a customizable list of available components containing tab for JFC or Swing, AWT, and JavaBeans components, as well as layout managers. There's also the Properties window that displays the properties of the component currently selected in the GUI Builder, Navigator window, Projects window, or Files window. This screenshot is showing you the different parts of it, where you have the Navigator, Design area, Palette, and also the Properties. Adding components. To add a JLabel to the form, in the Palette window, select or click your mouse to the label component from the Swing Controls category. When you click on the JLabel, drag it into the design area. When the guidelines appear indicating that the JLabel is positioned at the top left corner with a small margin at the top and left edges, click again your mouse to place the label. The JLabel is added to the form and a corresponding node representing the component is added to the Navigator window. Before going further, we need to edit the JLabel text. To edit the display text of a JLabel, double-click on the JLabel to select its display text. Type length and press Enter. The JLabel's new name is displayed and the component's width adjusts as a result of the edit. To add a G text field to the form, in the palette window, select the text field component. Move the cursor immediately to the left of the length G label. When the horizontal guideline appears indicating that the G text field's baseline is aligned with the G label and the spacing between them is suggested with a vertical guideline, click to position the G text field. The G text field snaps into position in the form aligned with the G label's baseline as shown below. To remove the text inside the G text field and resize it, double-click the G text field to select its display text and press delete. The width of the G text field will be reduced. You need to resize and make it wider. The G text field by dragging the G text field's right edge resize handle towards the right edge of the enclosing JFrame. To add the remaining 3 G labels and G text fields, repeat all the previous steps to add G labels and G text fields. Ensure that all the text for the labels and text fields have been changed correctly. For example, the second G label text is width. Once finished, you should have your GUI as shown below. To add G button to the form, in the palette window, select the button component from the Swing Controls category. Move the G button below of the parameter G text field. Set the display text for the G button. You can edit the button's text by right-clicking the button and choosing Edit Text. Enter Compute for the button. To add another button, repeat all the previous steps to add the second G button. The second G button text must be set to reset. Once finished, you should have your GUI as shown below. Next, set the JFrame container size and title. To resize your JFrame, which is the main container, bring your mouse to the bottom right corner of the frame. Click and drag your mouse diagonally up or down to resize the frame according to your preference. To set the JFrame title, click the JFrame and ensure that it is highlighted with orange colored border. In the JFrame Properties window, click the Title Property field. Type the desired title, for example, My Rectangle App, in the Title Property field. Now that we have done designing the GUI, we can now run the application. To run your Rectangle App GUI program, click the Source View tab to view the source code that have been generated by NetBeans. Right-click your mouse in the Generated Codes area and select Run File. You can see your GUI when the program runs. Make sure that you follow all these steps and try to run the app. This will be useful for your group assignment. In GUI Part 2, we are still going to use this same program. We will write more codes and ensure that when we click on Compute, it will calculate what is the area and the perimeter. And when we click on Reset, it will reset all those text fields to empty. That's all about GUI Part 1. I will post the questions that you need to answer on online learning. That's all. Thank you.